So by the way, I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm Larry the Duck from First Wave on Sirius XM, and this is Mr. Pete Byrne from Naked Eyes.
Hey, thank you.
I can tell you, I don't know what happens on this cruise. I don't say my name or anything. So like, a lot of people don't know who you are, but people are moving around the world.
I am pleased and happy, and I seem to know everybody on this ship. Everyone comes up, and they are what most people say is, "How are you feeling?"
Well, you entered by falling on the stage.
It's not Hardy, right, or something like that.
How are you feeling, Pete?
I'm pretty good. I've got a sore knee, but you know.
Yes, he's doing okay.
I'm okay.
But are you having fun on the cruise? I mean,
I really am. It's great. We did 2 shows on this stage. And if I may, whoever's in charge around here, can you get rid of this carpet? We cannot dance.
budget for year 10 on the carpet.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah. Or you can't move on the snow.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hopeless.
It's hopeless. They go bare feet. You know, I've seen like Kate Bush and people do. They just take the slippers off and just dance with them. Better yet, you did fall on the stage.
I did. Yeah. That's the best entrance I've made for years, actually.
So your first album, I want to talk about Tony Mansfield for a second. He produced it. A lot of people. I was a big fan of this band called New Music.
Yeah, this band.
With a K. New Music with a K.
That's right.
And Tony Mansfield did a song. It was around the same time like Split Ends, and a lot of these avant-garde bands were starting to, and they were really building the production at that time.
Right.
And they did a song called Straight Lines.
Straight Lines.
And my favorite was World of Water.
That was his second record, I believe.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You took a master behind the board who was also an artist, and he was the producer of your first album.
Yes, it was fantastic because, as you say, he was a great musician himself.
Right.
So he and Rob would work on synthesizers and drum machines and the rest of it, and he would say things to me like, "Do you like doing vocals?" Yeah, of course. I mean, I was thinking.
Well, here's the thing about vocals, right? So he told me back in '83 when he came over to New York that his vocal, and always something there to remind me, was done in one take.
Wow. It was actually one sitting. Back in the old days, you'd start a song and you'd sing to a certain point, and then if you didn't like it or you made a mistake, the engineer would drop you in right before, so you're singing on with what you'd already recorded, and then he would drop you in on the tape, and then you'd pick it up and then do it like that.
Yeah, but with the tubular bells, I guess that's the sitting, right? Because you had those tubular bells, so that was a very hard creative production process. But you really did it in one take. I mean, most artists do multiple takes.
Yeah, and multiple days as well. I mean, and promises. I probably spent 10 days redoing it, changing it. It's it was a magical evening actually. It was a party for an artist called Billy Fury.
I remember this story.
Yeah, and it was great. Everyone from EMI Capital was there. Paul McCartney and a band called Slade. I don't know if anything.
Slade was great.
I know they're great guys as well.
Love Slade.
Yeah.
Montehuble. Yeah. But the thing is that in picturing this, right? If you paint the picture, this is a party, and you're trying to get your first single done.
Yeah.
In a sense, you're doing one sitting. Technically one take, with other people watching you, which is not
the
normal.
It was downstairs in Studio 2, which was the London Philharmonic. That's where they recorded, which is where the tubular bells were and all the other bits and pieces. And but we'd been at the party for about 3 or 4 hours, and it was a brilliant idea of mine to go up and do the vocal, whatever it was, 2 or 3 in the morning. And I was a little worse for wear, but very loose,
Well, 2 in the morning, anything goes at that point.
I know, and it worked out well, I thought.
Well, it went to number 8 in the United States.
Not bad.
How did you do in England? I didn't sort of try.
No, it was a minor hit in England, top 40, but nothing the thing about Rob and I was we were really normal people. We didn't subscribe to the jockstrap and, you know, hairnet and all the rest of this. You don't know what I'm talking about. This is a big...
Wait, we need a definition.
Okay, there's a great photograph of Spandau Ballet at the time, and I'm not going any further.
So I do have to ask you a question. I've never really asked you because I always thought it was a little sensitive, but your partner, Rob Fisher, sadly passed away of cancer in 1999.
That's right, yeah.
And we never really speak about Rob. And do you want to do a favorite memory of Rob? Because he was your partner.
Well, we started writing together back in 1979. I ran into him on the bridge in Bath. I don't know if anyone here knows Bath, but there's this beautiful Georgian bridge called Putney Bridge. And he was not getting fired, but he was separating from his band, the girl singer, and she was threatening to knock him out. And
knock him out?
Yeah, she, you know,
like Mama said, knock out.
Yeah, she was a big girl.
Mama said, no,
sorry. So anyway, because I knew her and I knew Rob from various, you know, because we were in different bands in Bath, and I was the peacemaker. and then when she left, I said to Rob, you know, we should get together and write some songs. So I'm fed up with this band thing. My band had left Bath, left England, to come to California to hang out with the Guru Maharaji.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
And so I didn't have a band. He'd just been fired. And we both said, fuck, let's do the songwriting thing.
You said fudge.
No. And so we went to this great pub on Pony Bridge, had a couple of pints, decided to write some songs, get a publishing deal, make a record, and become overnight successes.
Now, which they became, but before Naked Eyes,
yeah,
and before Tears for Fears,
yeah,
you and Rob were in a band with Kurt and Roland from Tears for Fears.
Rob and I were, the publisher said you need to release a record. So we wrote a couple of songs, recorded, and we called ourselves Neon.
Neon.
And then later on they said, well, you need to put a band together, go out and, you know, promote these songs. And so I, you know, called all my friends, Neil Taylor, who's the guitarist, who was the guitarist with Tears for Fears, Manny Elias, who was the drummer, and who else? I'm just trying to think.
Oh, I'm trying to think myself. I mean, so Kurt and Roland Rosenthal were from Bath themselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all, you know, we all knew each other. And
wouldn't it have been wild if Neon really took off and like Naked Eyes and Tears for Fears became like one big entity? That would have been pretty interesting.
It really would, yeah. But Neil, the guitarist, a spectacular guitarist, played with absolutely everybody. And he wanted to do his own thing, and I understand that. You know, musicians, creative people, they want to...
It fell apart, really.
Yeah, it fell apart,
yeah. That's fine.
And so that's what happened. And Kurt and Roland went off, did Tears for Fears, took my band with them. And I don't know that against it, but, you know. I had the best musicians in Bath, so, you know. It worked out well.
So sadly, when Rob passed, you were working with Rob on a potential third Naked Eyes album.
That's right.
Because basically you did take some of those songs and put them into your solo album called The Real Illusion in 2001.
That's right.
So that was really a combination of what you would have finished with Rob and your own material.
Yeah, that's right. It was, you know, the thing with Rob was devastating, obviously. And I had no idea, because we were talking every week. He would come out to LA and we would rent an apartment and write songs, and I would go to London and, you know, we'd record at his place. And you know, neither of us obviously had any clue. And he said to me, I'm going in to have this routine surgery. English people are not like Americans. I mean, we don't take it lightly. We're, you know, for us, it's, oh my God, no. And anyway, he did. And then the day after that, one of our friends called me up and said, oh, sorry to tell you, Pete, but Rob didn't make it. It was just absolutely devastating.
Wow.
And
so this was surgery from bowel cancer, is that what he had?
Yeah, I'm not even sure of the details, to be honest. I don't like going over that, but it was a shock to everybody, not only to me, but at that point I thought, okay, I'm just going back to square one, and I went and bought a guitar, a new acoustic guitar, a beautiful SJ200, if anyone knows about guitars, the most beautiful sounding, looking guitar you can get.
Well, I introduced you actually acoustically.
Oh.
You did one of those 80s live tours, with other bands, and I remember you brought out an acoustic guitar and played acoustically.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
This was like...
I'm sure it happened. But
No, it was like 15 years ago at the Ford Amphitheater in Brooklyn. So yeah, and it was, and I hadn't seen you in a number of years, and we had walked into the stage door together.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, we were like having this conversation for 15 minutes, and it was like I always knew you, and I just felt comfortable again, seeing you, and actually, Lori and I brought you on the other night for the concert, and then I got interviewed by someone backstage, and they said, "So what's your favorite Naked Eye song?" I said, "What in the Name of Love?" I mean, because that's my favorite song. We played that on Valentine's Day a lot too.
Oh, great.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I enjoy playing with a band. Somebody brought up my guitarist. He's doing a fantastic job on that.
Yeah.
And so we play 2 guitar parts. It's fun.
No, you were great the other night too.
Nice.
So, in terms of touring, do you remember your favorite performance of all? Like your most fun, memorable performance?
I played Carnegie Hall. Were you about?
No, I wasn't there. You played Carnegie Hall?
Well, I did this acoustic album, as we were just talking about, and I was recording all my favourite artists, but not their most famous songs, apart from Elton John. I did Rocket Man, and I got asked to go to this Elton John Bernie Taupin
No kidding.
benefit at Carnegie Hall.
Do you know what the year that was? There's a reason I'm asking. Was it late 80s?
No, I think it was about 2007.
Oh, okay. Because in the late 80s, what happened was they renovated Carnegie Hall. So they never really brought the rock bands in. So I did the last 2 shows before they did this major renovation.
Oh.
And it was actually Kid Creole and the Coconuts,
Wow.
and then Violent Femmes. So technically they were the last. And Gordon actually was born and raised in New York, so it was very special for him.
Yeah.
But if you remember that stage, when you went on stage, it's a small stage.
It's small, but the thing about it is, it's like an amphitheatre. All the seats go straight up, so everybody's very close to you. Even though, I don't know how many people they get in there, but
I think it's like 2,200 people.
2,200.
Yeah.
But they're all like right in front of you, like you're in an amphitheatre, except it's like.
Right. But when you're at the center stage mic in Carnegie Hall, and it's not a big stage, when you look up though, it's like you see God, because the thing goes like, the way it funnels up, with the acoustics, right? Because it's perfectly...
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And of course, as soon as you walk out on that stage, you're thinking, oh my God, Carnegie Hall.
Well, it's sacred ground, it really is when you think about
absolutely.
it. Think about everybody that had been there. I did not know you did Carnegie Hall. That's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. So then what was the funnest tour you had with anybody else?
I did a tour with the Go-Go's. I think it was back in 2008.
Oh, okay.
And that was great. The girls were fantastic. And we had these great shows every night, and they would do, we would do ad-lib stuff,
Yeah.
at the end of their set.
Yeah, the end of the set.
And we'd
Which is
do
fun.
cool jazz, jerk, and things like that.
They're fun. They're a lot of
They
fun.
really are fantastic.
And I guess it was a couple of years ago they were doing the farewell tour.
I
I
think
think the bands do 401k tours, but sometimes I think they're good. And now they just announced that they're reforming.
Oh, great.
For like 7 days because they're doing Coachella,
All right.
which is actually pretty cool if you
Okay.
think about it. And then they're doing Cruel World, which you've done Cruel World.
Yeah.
You haven't?
I know they keep making that mistake every year.
Remember the Cruel World. Please book Naked Eyes for next year. Yeah, I guess you folks from California, I guess going out there, Pasadena, May 17th. Great lineup, by the way. You going? Yeah. Yay!
I'll see you out there then, maybe.
So let's start getting some questions from the audience if you want to
Okay.
just kind of line up over here. But it's interesting, as a songwriter, as a musician, as an artist, as a vocalist, as a singer, I've always admired your work, and I look forward to this package coming out.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have a release date yet, but also seeing this Getty Image photo that you discovered.
Oh, man.
You didn't know it existed.
The thing about the photograph is it's Rob and I standing waiting in the wings. Now we had a song called Waiting in the Wings that should have been on our first album. For some reason we never finished it. And the only thing that exists is a demo that the guy who recorded it for me, he just sent it to me out of the blue. And it was such a, what I call serendipitous, right? It was just amazing. I've got this photograph of us waiting in the wings, and then this demo of a song that Rob and I both loved. And for some reason, we started to record it, but never finished it. And so I had the demo and the photograph, and that's that. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful package. So it's four final albums, the original album, obviously, and then the two extended mixes, dance mixes with Madonna and Jelly Bean, and what else? There's an album of B-sides and rare tracks. So it's going to be pretty good, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was it like when you saw that photo? It must have hit you.
I don't remember it.
Oh, you don't remember the photo being taken, but when you saw the photo, you had not seen that photo before.
No, I hadn't, and I thought this is fantastic because it's totally off the cuff. We're standing there with the ropes and all the backstage stuff,
Yeah.
and it's we're posing, but it's such a ridiculous place to do it, backstage.
Well, that's the thing. So that's why I wanted you to paint the picture, because
Yeah.
sometimes those images that people don't see are the backstage area.
I know.
And then when you see and you're waiting and the anticipation going on, which
Yeah.
of course American Bandstand, that's like
Yeah,
big time.
It was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Hi, what's your name?
Hello.
Hi there, my name's Ann.
Hi, Ann. Where are you from?
Hello, Ann.
I'm from Rochester, New York.
Oh, right.
Which is why you're in the 80s crew, so you had to get away from the cold, right?
Yes.
Mm.
And I can't take 0 to 85 all at once.
Well, to be honest, winter's my fourth favorite season, so you're on the right.
Okay, well, my question is, Larry already brought this up a little bit with the idea that, always something there to remind me was a cover.
A reimagining, actually.
Yeah, well, I'd like to ask Pete, do you have a particular cover or a sample of a Naked Eye song that you thought was done well? And I'd like to know your opinions on sampling in general.
Sampling.
Sampling is where they take the...
Yes, I know what it is. It's a shame I don't have it. We licensed Promises to a rapper in London, and he did a spectacular job on it. I mean, just incredible. And it actually went to top 10. I think it was #1 in England, actually. It was beautiful. Actually, what am I talking about? It was Low Life, a song called Low Life from the first album. He sampled, and that was yeah. I don't mind. There's money in it somewhere, I think.
Yeah, but I keep asking you every time I interview you, I say, my favorite song is Sacrifice.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And you go, I said, could you try and rehearse to do it? And I'm trying to.
I hate rehearsing.
I know. But Sacrifice, you gotta bring that back at some
I
point.
should, yeah, you're right. But
Yeah.
a lot of people like that song.
I love that song.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your patience.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you?
Love your hat.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Queens, New York.
Oh! I found my queen in Queens.
Yeah.
My wife is from Queens.
Oh, great.
Russian New York.
Yeah, I stayed there for a little bit.
So my question is,
Yeah.
what's the backstory behind you getting together with Burt Bacharach, and it was something that reminded me?
Well, there really isn't any. Rob and I were recording demos for our album, and we would, when you're doing an album, you're doing it time after time, and every day is that. And we recorded most of the songs, and then we just thought we'd do a cover or somebody else's song, and that was the one we decided on. It could have been a Dusty Springfield song. You don't have to stay with me, just be close at hand. Could be something. So loud.
I can tell it, Peter. And those early days, I guess, to know where you're going, sometimes you have to remember where you came from. And I know there were challenges for you and for Rob. And, the music industry can be extremely overwhelming, and yet MTV launched a couple of years prior, right? So a lot of those, they call them the tour support budgets, evolved into the video budgets, right? And and then the marketing was key. The marketing and the plan of releasing specific songs with specific B-sides, because we were playing the imports in New York. We were playing the British stuff. We weren't doing the American.
What was the B-side? Time Is Now.
Oh man! Someone want to Google that? The B-side?
Yeah, I think it was The Time Is Now.
Time Is Now? Yeah, and that's what we used to do. I used to have a show called Off the Boat, and we had this deal with Rough Trade in London, and they would ship records to us every Thursday. It was Heathrow, New York, to Kennedy, and my staff would meet it, and we played the B-sides a lot.
Right.
And there were B-sides that actually, really took off, that were not meant for the album.
I used to love that with the Beatles. The Beatles were the kings of that.
Yeah.
Their B-sides, like Rain, Big Black Riser, right? Rain was a B-side of Big Black Riser.
Right.
It was a fantastic song in its own right. I'd love to do that one of these days.
Yeah. Because Depeche Mode put out a song called But Not Tonight. It was meant to be a B-side. And it just became, you remember the Screamer of the Week, the Best Song of the Week. We used to do this every week, and you got 2 screamers in that. And the label forced the band to put it on, I think it was Black Celebration, because the demand, and Martin Gore was pissed because he didn't want to put it on the album. But the label forced him to put it on the album.
He was like me. He loved the Beatles, and the Beatles didn't release their B-sides on albums. Okay, in fact, they didn't even release their A-sides on albums, really.
Yeah.
The singles were a separate entity, and he probably felt the same way that I did, which was we should follow that. That's the best way to do it. Your album's one thing, singles is something else, and then the Americans got involved in it.
Yeah, we always screw it up. No, but there's always a plan, right? So in that case, it was stripped, and the B-side was But Not Tonight, and they forced it onto the album. And that happened a number of times, because sometimes B-sides, I don't know, it moves products, right? Because it makes it more of a collectible, especially those old 12-inch, and then they put them on colored vinyl, and the rest is history.
I know.
But so that was a great thing. So,
and the package is going to be blue vinyl.
Blue vinyl. That's my favorite color, blue. I love that. Cool. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, too close.
What's your name?
Ann McNally from Quincy, Massachusetts.
Oh, Quincy, Massachusetts. My brother lives in McMillan.
Oh!
Mike Butter.
That's more New York.
Long Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smart park.
Just talk amongst yourselves, I'm not in this history lesson here.
I'm going down the rabbit hole here.
Anyway. So I was wondering, this is kind of a two-part question. Back in the day,
Yeah.
you enjoy doing videos, and how did you get Simon Le Bon into the Always Something There to Remind Me video?
What did I do?
Got Simon Le Bon from Duran Duran. He makes a cameo in the Always Something There to Remind Me video. He goes into a phone booth.
What are you talking about? That didn't happen.
It's the hidden video.
No, seriously. In the Always Something There to Remind Me
I
video.
know the song.
Yeah.
And that was me in the phone box.
What? It didn't look like you. No, it's just a flash. It's like a quick little. Am I wrong? Wasn't Simon?
Oh, wrong. You're definitely wrong.
Well, we don't want to put her in the
Are you her sister or something? Yes, no, but has a team behind it.
Okay, so forget that part of the question then. How
It
did you?
didn't happen. It didn't happen, okay? There's nothing to forget.
Let's rewind. Okay, rewind.
Rewind.
How did you enjoy doing videos, or did you enjoy doing videos?
Do you remember how horrible I looked?
You look very cute.
Apparently you look like Simon Le Bon.
Well, I did that. I'd been up all night, and we went to Ronnie Scott's, and we had a party, which we used to do, right?
Yeah. Oh, like you did.
Not
I
anymore.
saw you at 2 a.m. last
See, when I
night.
arrived today,
Still like to party.
I went to bed early last night. That's why I only fell over a little bit.
We were out late last night, Pete. You know that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in the
I
elevator.
was with Simon Le Bon.
You were excited about
I love that. Thank you very much. But it didn't happen. I'm sorry to tell you.
Quincy, Massachusetts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
And thank you, team, as well.
That's what I love about interviews. You just have fun up here, but I involve all of you, which just makes it more.
Yeah, it makes it much more
It really
interesting.
does. Yeah. Hi, sir. Where are you from?
From Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Kansas. Is that Missouri?
It is the Missouri side.
Okay, what's the other side?
The Kansas side.
Oh. I thought it must be around to the button.
Pete, I don't think like Kansas anymore.
The funny part on that is there's signs when they play in Missouri that will tell people, artists, to say, you're in Missouri. So they don't say, hey, Kansas, and then get booed. It's a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know, well, everyone just refers to Spinal Tap on that one, you know. Cleveland! I don't know where he was, but he wasn't there.
I think they're making a remake. Or they're doing a
Yeah, they're doing a part two or something.
which is great.
I'm looking forward to it, but, you know, I don't know.
Christopher Guest was brilliant. in that.
I know. He was brilliant in all those,
I know.
all those films.
Well, if you ever listen to some of those old National Lampoon records,
No.
he does Mr. Rogers to a T. He does, yeah, like the best Mr. Rogers.
You know he's Lord Guest, don't you?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a peer of the realm. He sits in the House of Lords.
I did not know that.
And his wife, Jamie Lee Curtis. Curtis.
Curtis, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. She's Lady. What's his name?
Lady Curtis?
No, she's no.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, Guest. Lady Guest?
Yeah, well, that's his name, right?
Christopher Guest.
Christopher Guest. She's Lady Guest. Isn't that amazing? So, for all you Americans, and most of you are, that's how you become a lady. You marry an English lord.
I wonder if the new version of Spinal Tap, the drummer always explodes and dies. I always need a new drummer.
Oh, that's right.
In the backstage area, you keep passing the janitor, they can't find the stage.
Oh, I know, I've done that. when you're in some of these arenas, you don't know where you are back there, and you set off for the stage, and then 10 minutes later, you look around.
Sorry, we missed your question.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
Okay, circling back.
What happened?
Okay, you've referenced two of my favorite Naked Eye songs that I don't believe were ever released, and that is Low Life and Sacrifice. So my question is, what is your favorite Naked Eye song that you think should have been released and could have been a hit but wasn't?
I think Emotion. I really believe that should have been a single. It was my bright idea to release Voices in My Head as a single. And it was the first single in England, and the American label didn't care for it. But it was #1 in Peru.
Great song, Voices in My Head. See, Focus Group, he likes Sacrifice too.
Yes.
There you go.
Not bad.
Great song, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's an amazing song.
thank you.
Thinking about
I
it.
appreciate that.
All right, thank you for the question. So we are going to allow you to have Pete, photos, whatever you want to do, if you want to line up in the back. But before you go, future plans, besides the blue vinyl that's coming that we're waiting for the release date, which we don't know yet, what's up next for you?
Next year, I suppose I'll be touring again.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to do a lot of shows this year. Probably, it doesn't make me.
Yeah.
But next year we'll do a proper tour.
Yeah, and you do a lot of the 80s festivals with a lot of other bands.
Yeah, I do. I love them. Yeah.
But this has been special, right? The 80s cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's been fascinating. And I feel like I've met everybody on the ship.
It's amazing how, 4,300 people come together, and it's more than community. I think that we're all family.
Yeah.
And it is.
Is that how many people are on the ship? 4,300.
I think 4,300.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And the crew is 1,000 people. The crew's 1,000 people.
All right.
And they're fans too, so if you add them into it.
Right. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. We tip them well, don't we? We do. So, I want to thank you all for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now give it up for Pete Byrne.